Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, we talk all things fandom and we talk about them in a positive way, and that's something that appeals to you. You know you're in the right place. This is Throwback Thursday, where we usually talk about some news that's going on in the fandom and the throwback movie review that kind of goes in line with it. Today, however, very special because this is Thanksgiving, and I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Today, we're going to be talking about the very first Christmas movie I watch every year after the Thanksgiving dinner. I always watch the same thing, and that is It's a Wonderful Life. And now we're going to tell you why. It's a Wonderful Life sort of has a past that you wouldn't expect. The movie was not a critical success upon release, but over the years it was found through being able to be aired on television, and it has garnered itself a cult following. People line up to see this movie every year. And what's the reason why? What makes this movie so special? Well, It's a Wonderful Life focuses on a small town man named George Bailey who wants to shake the small town blues off of himself and see the world. And who doesn't dream of going out and seeing the world? Well, circumstance happens and George Bailey finds himself stuck in the same place. Now, so far, it doesn't sound very Christmassy, does it? But this is where this movie differs. Because we start to follow George Bailey on the worst night of his life, Christmas Eve. And George Bailey is thinking about giving away the greatest gift of all, his own life. So they send an angel to actually help him. And the angel needs to earn its wings. In order to do that, it has to help him get to where he needs to go. It has to help him understand that this is not the right choice. The movie has this unique approach where we see the angel learning about George Bailey's life and what makes him so significant. We watch George Bailey grow up for the majority of the first act. And what happens is we find out that George Bailey helped his brother. He saved his brother from drowning. Now, we're told that George Bailey's brother later saved an entire unit in the war. We're told about how he helped this pharmacist not get in trouble for accidentally giving the wrong prescription. We're taken through the life of George Bailey as we slowly start to find out just what a nice guy he really is. And every time he's ready to shake the small town off of his shoes and go his separate way, things just have a way of not working out. Something always happens to where he has to put someone else before him. And that's what he does every single time. Well, then eventually what happens is the worst day of his life. Everything he knows is falling apart. Everything seems dire and horrible. And of course, this happens on Christmas Eve. So George Bailey goes to the bridge, ready to jump off the bridge, when the angel, Clarence, appears to him. Having watched George Bailey grow up, he has a pretty good idea of all the people George Bailey affected. So what he does is when George Bailey says, well, I wish you could grant me a wish. I wish I'd never been born. He goes, well, we could do that. And he shows him what life would be like if George Bailey was never born. The movie is an absolute gem to watch. It is one of these movies that by the end of it, you feel better for having watched it. Because you find out that the little things you do in your life are significant, even when you think they aren't. That person that you help may help other people. And if you aren't there to help them, then they aren't there to help those other people. And that's the message that this movie has that is so brilliant to watch, and what makes it one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies. In fact, when I was growing up, this movie actually aired on Thanksgiving Day all the time, which is why it's become that tradition of me to watch this movie on Christmas Day. In fact, the movie got remade as a made-for-TV movie where they gender flipped George Bailey. And that was actually in It Happened One Christmas, a made-for-television movie. Now, that movie did okay from what I understand in the ratings. Marlo Thomas was in it. It didn't do spectacular, but at the time, you could just go and watch this movie. You could just go and watch It's a Wonderful Life. And that's still kind of the case. The little remake for television got lost in the shuffle because all of a sudden, you could actually watch this movie again. I don't know what the deal was when It Happened One Christmas came out in 1977 on TV. And the remake isn't that bad. I later saw it. It's not all that bad. However, nothing can actually beat this original film. This original film is just so incredible. James Stewart, is actually brilliant in the film. I would actually say that this is one of those films that if you have never seen it, you owe it to yourself to watch it at least once. I remember growing up and people telling me the reasons they didn't watch this movie, and it always kind of shocked me. I heard people say, I don't watch movies that are over 2 hours long. Okay, well, we now live in an age of Marvel. I don't watch movies that are in black and white. Well, they made a color version of it. They colorized the movie. So if those are your only two problems, you owe it to yourself to jump on it and see this movie anyway, because you will not come out disappointed. The movie, at the very least, at the end of your day, has this kind of iconic feel-good message that needs to be heard during the holiday season. A time when people are stressed out, when they don't feel good about life, this movie actually is something that can help you understand. So, if you've ever heard the line, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings, that came from this movie. Married with Children also parodied this movie when they needed a Christmas special. Then Dallas, when they were doing their series finale, the original Dallas series, used this as the basis for their series finale. And so many times this movie has been copied, parodied, referenced in pop culture, making it one of the most iconic Christmas films of all time. So if you're looking for something to watch and you have never seen this movie and you want sort of this feel-good vibe, then check out It's a Wonderful Life, because you might just come out feeling like it really is. Alright, so make sure you're leaving us a comment in the comment box below. We like hearing from you. YouTube likes it too. So make sure you're sharing this video with all of your friends so they get the same great content you're getting and also can be a part of our conversation. Make sure that you're hitting that like button. It's free. Helps us, helps the channel. And then also, friends, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, because Miko says we need more subscribers and you don't want to disappoint Miko. So, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What was that, Miko, you said? That every time, oh yeah, make sure you're hitting that notification bell, because Miko said that every time you hit a notification bell, a doggy gets a bone. Oh, I don't know if that's true, but we can make that true maybe. So make sure you're hitting that notification bell as well. And then, yes, friends, at the end of the day, Miko knows it. You know it. I know it. Guess what? Yes. At the end of the day, fandom is family.